Hey guys, this is Rohan here, the co-founder and CEO of Deolite. We're really excited to showcase you a brand new feature of tagging to all of you. So tagging is a feature that lets you convert any static layers into interactive components and widgets such as external links, input fields, buttons, embeds, and so on and so forth. So I'll be demonstrating you live hands-on on how this powerful feature works and how you can get much more higher quality code through the same. So tagging fundamentally requires you to change your core elements name in a particular format or in a particular style so that we can identify what kind of format it is, and based on that can do the certain modifications. So let's start with the simpler one, which is links, external links. So as you can see in the footer, you have Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn. Let's try and change that into an external link. So I simply go to the Instagram to start off with, and at the layers panel you can see I have a simple text. So to change that, I have to simply rename this with hash link, and then I have to put the URL. So let's put simply instagram.com. So instagram.com close square brackets. Similarly for Twitter, hash link. So remember that the URL is mandatory and it has to start off with HTTPS. So twitter.com, similarly double hash link, linkedin.com, and we are done with this. Now let's move on. So we'll see this in action in a while. Now let's move on to the other type, which is input fields. So input fields are basically typing fields where you use in forms, for emails, passwords, and so on and so forth. So we have multiple types of input fields, but I'll be covering the major ones today. So let's start off with the basic text, simple text typing field. So for example, for the first name and last name, let's change this into an actual input typing field. So what we have to simply do is select the rectangle, and you can already see here that double hash input is there. So this is the standard format for any kind of standard input text field. So the type or the parameter of input field for default cases is general text. So if you simply write on this, or if you write on, for example, in the last name hash input text, it remains the same thing. Now for specific cases like email and passwords, what you have to write off is simply hash input and then email, and for password you can write hash input password. There you go. So one thing to remember here is that mostly while designers design these kind of input fields, they have a standard placeholder already in design. But while you're using Deolite, we recommend you to delete that, because we are already putting those placeholders right in the actual code so that the developers or you can understand and modify the CSS properties and handle that on a developer side of things. We'll see that in action right away. So now you have this frame ready. So now for the last feature, before we actually move into our core product, let's also see how embeds work. So I have this simple frame here, which has this simple rectangle. So you can see here that embed simply work as hash embed, and then the link of a YouTube video, an iframe URL, or something else entirely put into place. So it can be anything, an S3 URL that you want inside this, and then this will also work. So let's now move directly into the action and use Deolite right away. So simply open up the product. You can see the cool logo animation. So now I have to select a frame. So simply select this frame. Let's start off with this, and then simply say convert to code, and you're done with it. So you can preview it in Code Sandbox, and you can see the placeholder text also in place. So now, because I have not put the square bracket text here, so no placeholder text is available, but then you can modify it by putting inside the square bracket text, and you can see already the enter email, enter password kind of thing coming. So this is a black font color. You can modify it based on the CSS, and so this works here. One more interesting thing that I would really love you to see is the scripts.js file. So the external links also are in place, you can see, and for better comprehensibility, if you put it in a mapped sort of structure in scripts.js file, so you can directly modify it from here and you don't have to search through the code entirely. And let me also give you one more example, the embed one that we have created. So I simply select this and I say convert to code. It is live. So yeah, you see this video and all. Now, one last thing that is very interesting, especially for the developers, is what we've also created is a button sort of functionality where any kind of API based calls, integrations, a specific button handler basically also is something that we can handle now. So let's create this create free account as that event handler. So I'll just close this and show you the button thing as well. So I have this and I simply go in and I say hash hash button, and now if I run it again, the cool animation comes, and yeah, if I just click on it again, convert to code, so yeah, you have it again. You can preview it in Code Sandbox. So now I'll just focus you on a developer side of things, how this is actually looking. So if you see it here, you have this button function. So anything that you want to call off in this function, you can do this. Right now we've just put a simple logging call, but then you can do whatever you want with this. So this is the powerful functionality that Theolite has now introduced, and we hope that developers and designers can put this into picture and really create quality code and save their time and efforts.